Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a quick little video on replacing the lower shock bearing on the KTM 690 Enduro. This is going to be probably my usual what not to do video, but I've never done one of these before, but it looks pretty easy. We'll muddle through. I don't have any special tools or anything. I'm hoping that I can use the vise to press out the old bearing. Just quickly, the reason that I'm doing it is the suspension had a real squeak in it. It took me a while to figure out that it was actually the lower shock bearing. Yeah, it was really annoying and I wanted to fix it. I had a look and the seals on the bearing are totally destroyed pretty much, so dirt's gotten in there. It is kind of a vulnerable piece. It hangs, that lower shock bearing does hang down in the dirt and water and everything. Now I have picked up an all balls replacement kit. I know some of you guys know what I think of all balls, especially the wheel bearings, but anyway, just quickly I'll show you guys the actual bearing. Now it is a Heim joint. I don't know why, I'm pretty sure it's what they called a Heim joint. It's like a ball joint. Normally you'd find needle roller bearings in something like this. Now the shock to me looks like it's straight up and down. I don't know why they've used a Heim joint. As you guys probably know, the Heim joint, it's a ball joint, so it can rotate, laterally as well as spin around like that. So I don't know why. Like, I know on the KTM 500 EXC they use one of these in the PDS lower shock joint, but that's because the shock's actually on an angle like that, so it needs, as it as it compresses, it does have a little bit of lateral movement. This one I'm pretty sure is straight up and down, so anyway, whatever. So essentially, to get this shock out, it's a bit of a fart around with this bike because of the rear fuel tank. Essentially you've got to rotate, lift the tank up, rotate it up to get that shock out. What I'm doing first, as you can see here, is I'm draining the fuel tank. If you have the raid garage, auxiliary tank feeding into your fuel pump at the bottom here, you will probably want to, drain your tank, because you'll need to take that hose off anyway in order to flip the tank up. So yeah, that's what I've done, draining the tank. I've removed the rear rack. If you've got the grab handles, you want to take those off as well. Seat is off. Now the next thing I'm going to do is undo my steg pegs, basically take this piece of plastic here off this rear fender, and then we need to unbolt the exhaust as well. So I'm just removing these side plastic bolts with an 8mm. Right, there's two 8mm bolts up here as well on the plastic. And then we need to remove the fuel filler. Pretty important to make sure that no crap or water goes into your fuel tank. Actually, there's another bolt underneath there. One of these self-tapping ones that no socket ever seems to fit properly. So we don't have to totally remove all the wiring and everything. We'll just undo the exhaust now. Okay, now that we've got all the plastics off, hopefully all we need to do is undo this bolt here. Yours might be a bit different. This is the Parent Moto subframe bolt kit, so it could be a little bit different. Looks like a 13mm. Need a 5mm Allen key on the other side. Alright, hopefully we can roll this tank up. Okay, we need to remove these as well. Alright, so the video I saw done of this was a different model bike and it didn't have this raid garage stuff, so I have to remove that air filter, maybe this ECU. Okay, so it will actually come up. You just want to be a little bit careful of all these wires and everything, make sure it's all clear. And try to hook it up with a Nike strap here. Okay, so hopefully now it's just a matter of undoing the top and bottom shock bolts and it should come out. Wouldn't be KTM without Torx bits. Shock bolt, or the top one anyway, is a T50 Torx. Alright, I think she's free. There's a KK, piece of cake. Alright, I'll give this a bit of a clean up and we'll try and get this crap out of here. Alright, need to take these spacers out for starters. You can see my seals are totally gone. I did stick some O-rings in there to try and seal it a bit, but it didn't really work, so. So you can see there that bearing is pressed in there, and it's the rotating ball part. So we do have some wire C-clips in here to take out. Alright, finally got this clip thing out. Had to destroy my pointy awl thing, but anyway. So it's just like a wire clip. You do get a new pair of those with the all balls kit. Hopefully I don't have to take the other side out. Should be able to press that whole thing out that way now. I'd give it the old tapperoonie first. It's on the move. Lovely. There we go. One old Heim joint removed. Alright, so I'm not going to smash the new one in with a hammer. I want to try and keep it good, so I will use the vise to press it in. As you can see here, there's about as much grease in that joint as what there is in your typical all balls wheel bearings. So I'm going to try and throw some water resistant grease in there, just get it all nice and greased up. I guess now we just assemble it with a whole bunch more grease. These guys generally press in fairly easily. A pair of good old multi-grips does help. And that, my friends, is one lower shock bearing replaced. Yeah, the top one doesn't get anywhere near as much dirt and shit and water on it, so it's fine. I'll go and refit this to the bike and hopefully not have any dramas. Alright, so basically just put the lower shock bolt back in first, guys. It's easier that way. So we'll just nip that up and then we'll do the top one. Alright, I'm not going to go through the whole process of putting this back together. Basically it's just a reversal of what we did to take it apart. So yeah, I've got the shock back in now, it's all good. Basically going to drop the tank down and make sure there's no wires caught or pinched. Yeah, just make sure everything's Mickey Mouse and bolt it all back together. everything's back together pretty easy. Nothing too hard. That job, all in all, I would say, you know, the usual disclaimer: if I can do it, anybody with half a brain can do it. You know, if you've got some basic tools. Anyway, the suspension works. No squeaky. Good as gold. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this has helped some of you out there. See you on the next one. Peace.